What's poppin'? It's your girl Black Diamond Misfit, aka She Fancy Huh, aka Ms. Fancy Wigs. Well, you know me, I'm always forgetting something. I have to go back to 1998 where I had another daughter, my last one. And I had her with somebody who I was with when I was younger, and we were engaged one time, and I left when I only had one kid. I had left town um, into another town. I only had one kid, and I came back. I had four kids, um, and we got back together. And my daughter was born in 1998. I ain't gonna say too much about that. Um, it's a little bit hard for me because he's not here anymore. He was murdered. So from that on, I'm gonna go back to the part where um, I moved with my children because it was a bad neighborhood, and now we moved, and now it's a good neighborhood. So, and that was 2007, and now my children the two children that I had that was going back and forth to detention and back and forth with bracelets on their legs. I think I'm saying it right, bracelets. The whatever on their leg, their ankle. Um, well, it was they things turned really bad real quick because even though it was a good neighborhood, the the street came back. The street was with them where we were at, meaning that it was inside them, and they didn't care where we were at. You know, good neighborhood or not, they just didn't want to be home. They wanted to be out in the street and everything. So the last time, my daughter had a big fight. She was on probation. My son was on probation, and the streets were just tired of them both. Honestly, more mainly my daughter, because she was really wrecking up shop. She was really behaving like a mad woman, fighting and just disrupting the whole town. So she had a fight on the basketball court where we were at, and the police came. They recognized her. They knew her name. They took her in, and she went to detention. But from detention, she wind up having to go to, I don't want to say group homes, but it was sort of like that. It was more of you have to stay there because of the court. Her breaking probation um, law, whatever it's called. So it was a place where I can't say it was a group home. It was like a detention, but for other girls too as well. And my son, he wind up getting stabbed on his birthday when he was 15. Well, he was 15. He was 16 that day, and him and his friend coming home to see me, coming home to be with me, and that right there was the biggest scare of my life. So I was in the hospital seeing him and going next door to his friend and seeing him. So I was seeing his friend and him at the same time, making sure they were okay, and Hartford Hospital, which was yeah. Anyway, at Hartford Hospital, so they were there for a while, both of them. You thought that would have changed them both, but it didn't. Um, Now my son, now he's better and everything. He wind up driving his friend's mom's truck or car, and I guess he didn't bring it back on time, and she reported it stolen. So my thing was is that how can we report something stolen when you have the key? He didn't bum rush her because to take the keys, she lent him the keys in the car. So I never could understand that. So he had to do time for saying that he stole the car, which didn't make any sense to me because that was his friend's mom. I don't understand why nothing was intervened and said anything. Like, I just don't get that part. So he had to do time, but when his time was, if he does a year, it'll be abolished. It'll be like as if it never even happened. Well, he did that. He did time, 16 in Little Cheshire, and they said once you do that, it's gonna be as if it never happened. You doing the time. So he came out and did that, but it didn't do anything for him. I thought it would change him, and it didn't. It didn't. So now I'm with that person who I'm with now, my husband. I met him. He's going. It was crazy because this is all going on when I'm meeting him. So this is exactly when it's happening when I'm meeting him. Me and him met on a street where we used to live, and the same house and everything. But I was going down the street, and he was there and everything. So that's where I met him. Period. So now while this is going on with my kids, him and I are getting closer. But now, mind you, at this time, the person I was married to, the person that I said, okay, he was on and off, it was already over. My husband right now, him and his wife it was over. So we were both wind up being married. It was crazy, but it was over with my husband. He went to Florida or wherever he went. I never seen him after that. Honestly, I've never seen him after that. Now my husband right now, he was telling his wife the same day that he met me but I didn't see him yet. I didn't even see him yet. Those two were going at it. They were together for 18 years. That's what he says. And they were going at it, whatever it was. That's their business. But he said that, he was telling his brother-in-law, cousin-in-law from his wife's side that, tell her goodbye and everything, because he said that he's had it. And he hasn't even seen me yet, so I don't even know nothing about him. I'm just repeating what he said. And the brother-in-law, the cousin-in-law said, what do you mean? He's like, yo, I'm leaving, and, I can't do it no more. So that same day, he's at the street where we both used to live, which I didn't know that until after we started talking. And the day that I met him was the day of my anniversary to the person who I was married for, and I didn't want to be in the house. I was like, oh my God, I don't want to get depressed. This is crazy. I got to leave out. So that day, I walked down the street, and that's where he was. And we started talking, and from there on in, we were just inseparable after that. We talked for the whole day, night, everything. I mean, we talked about who we knew, who my kid's father was, everything. Everything, just put the bull crap on the table. I had no idea that it was even going to be like this. I had no idea. So my kids so now, we're together and everything. And I have another fire. And there's clothes at my back door. And I look, and I'm like, wait a minute. These are his clothes. So it was his wife at the time brought the clothes to my house. So I'm like, wait a minute, before the fire, this is like minutes before the fire, I'm looking at it, I'm like, wait a minute. I was like, listen, you got some clothes out here. Right after that, there was a fire. So when the fire hit, me and the kids, we were safe. We went to another hotel. We were there for a while, for a few months. And now, mind you, my kids are still doing crazy stuff. My daughter, she's gone. She's in a placement. My son, he's running amok. And now the person I'm with now, my husband, he's coming with me to see my daughter. Every placement or everything, he's been there through the thick and thing, like through everything. He's been there through the whole time. Now I have to say, 6 years passed. Now my husband, who wasn't my husband then, is doing the same thing that my ex did. Coming and going, 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 coming and going. And I was like, listen, I don't know what's going on, but I can't do that in and out, back and forth. That's not gonna fly with me. And he did it that 6th year. We were fine all the way up to that time. And he did that for a while, for a few years, and I kept telling him, I was like, look, I'm getting lonely over here. Like, you gotta stop leaving me like this. Like, you're leaving me to the wolves. And I'm like, I don't know what you're doing. Every time you leave, you just tell me you're cheating and everything. And he'd leave weeks at a time, maybe a month at a time, or a month or two, then come back. I'm like, this is crazy. So somebody got into my inbox, and I'm like, he's telling me all the good stuff that I've liked to hear, that any woman that's lonely, would like to hear. Now, mind you, we're not married. Me and this person, we're not married yet. He got divorced. 3 months. We were still in the hotel, and he got divorced within 3 months. Yes, he did. He was divorced in 3 months. By the time we left out the hotel, that was it. I didn't get divorced yet until years later. And that's only because I didn't know how to go about it, because he was from Florida. So now he's going back and forth, and I'm telling him, and there's another person, he's in my inbox, and we wind up having a relationship. And honestly, I'm not gonna lie. It was more so out of boredom. I don't care what anybody says. It was boredom, because my heart was always with the person who I'm with right now. And I wound up being honest with him. I did. And I was like, listen, you keep coming back and forth, this and this and this and that. I was young. I still had my whole life. Nobody wants to be depressed and be lonely and stuff like that. For what? You make up your mind. So, but we broke up like an adults did, and I told him, and he was like, well, I don't want. He's like, I don't want to break up. I was like, well, it's kind of too late for that, because I was telling you for years, please stop. It took me 2 years to even go for it with this. So after that, I didn't even mess with my husband, who it is now, but he was my husband then. I didn't sleep with him. I wasn't dirty, disgusting like that. So don't come for me. That was it. And even though I started a relationship with the person who was in my inbox and everything, I was with him before, so he's not an add-on. I was with him before, years ago, before him. So it's not another notch in my belt. I was already with him before, years ago. So don't come for me. But now he's, and honestly, he was a little bit younger. And my mind was really for my husband. Well, for the person who I was with. He wasn't my husband yet. I was really just missing him, But here's the thing. He was with his wife for 18 years. Well, he was with her for 18 years. He was married for 6 or 7 of them, but he was together with her for 18 years. And he was young when he was with her and everything. So I didn't want to give up on him. I was always taken back. So because I really had faith in him. Somewhere I always had faith in him. Now, the person that, that I wanted to have a relationship with, I wanted up breaking up with him. I gave it, I said, because I said to him, listen, I'll give it 6 months between us, because um, you're showing signs of some immaturity, and I really don't have time for that. I'm already going through stuff with my kids. I just can't do that. So, lo and behold, that 6 months didn't happen in 6 months. It happened in 5 months, and I packed up his stuff and I brought it to his father's house. And I said goodbye. Wasn't with him after that. And it was easy for me because when you're with someone that's, I want to say older, or an older woman, or a woman that has her shit together, don't nobody have time for that. I just didn't. So I stayed by myself. And lo and behold, the person I'm with now, we got back together. I mean, he knew and everything, so he was out there doing whatever. I never even asked, because whatever he did, he wasn't going to tell me the truth anyway. Me, I was honest. I said, what was up. So we got back together, broke up. Got back together, broke up. And now that broke up, I'm not telling his side of his story. I'm just telling you mine. I'm the only one that could tell it. Okay? So, between another breakup and everything, I talked to somebody, and I wound up marrying him within 2 to 3 months. I sure did. How you say it? I'm spontaneous. I'm spontaneous. And a sucker for love. Now, honestly, it was just something to do, because honestly, I was just missing the person who I'm with right now. And I had to say I got it annulled within the 3 month radius. So I got married, but I got it annulled. So literally, I really got married one time with my first husband with my kids' children, and the one who I'm with now, because the other ones were they were annulments. So, and I'm not ashamed to say it, honestly, because it was an experience. I know coming from no guidance as a kid, I had to learn fast in certain things, and God kept me away from being around prostitutes, drugs, and all that kind of other stuff that could have made me be a different person who I am now. The only thing that I feel that honestly feel guilty of is being honest and faithful to people who didn't deserve it. Friends, fam, husband, like, they didn't even deserve it, because I was loyal. I'm a loyal friend. I'm a loyal girlfriend. I'm a loyal wife. Who didn't give up on life to finally be happy. And I'm not saying that my husband, okay, I needed a man to be happy. No, I know what I was doing. I just wanted to be. I wanted to be me, and that's what I did. No one can tell me what to do. I married, got married, got divorced, got married, and got annulled. I wasn't crazy to stay in relationships like that. Once I see that, okay, and I knew my part. So, other than that, you can count the relationships I had, and the marriages and the annulments that I had, and me being truthful to myself and not to anybody else, because who is everybody, because there's a lot of things that could be worse that I could have done, or anybody could do, because there's so many people, especially females, who there's a lot of fakes out there, okay, and a lot of people who cheat on their husbands or men who cheat on their wives, or you don't even have to be boyfriend, wives, or married girlfriends. Everybody's doing something, and it's disgusting. But I know friends who been with their friends' boyfriends, and they knew about it, and they're still friends. And I'm like, more power to you. I'm not that girl that's gonna do that. I've never looked at my girlfriends, boyfriends. Don't want to. I'm not that girl. But one thing I am is I'm loyal. I'm loyal, and I keep it 100. And if I don't have nothing nice to say, I just don't say it at all. That's just me. So on that part, I think I'm done with that part. With my kids going back and forth to detention, me getting married, getting annulled for that last time, and then after that, my husband, the one with now, we got back together again for the 105th time. But he said to me, "Come on, let's get married." He wanted to get married the next day. I was like, "What the hell? Are you crazy?" I said, "I need now, mind you. Every time he broke up, he's always got me a ring. He's always got me a ring. It's always been upgraded." And I said, "Listen, if you're really serious, then I need my ring, and at least let me get a dress. I don't care what we do after that." And within that going into the third month, we got married. I got my dress, he got my ring, and it wasn't no big wedding, shaboom boom. It was nothing like that. We got married in the hotel, and that was it. And we've been together ever since. And he's never left me. In the Jesus name, he's never left my side at all. I mean, it's just been beautiful ever since. I mean, we have our little quarrels, but it's never been how it was before. So that's my story from Black Diamond Misfit, and I hope that you guys appreciate it. You guys are in my business right now, because I'm telling you out of my mouth, y'all in my business. Y'all in my business right now, because I'm telling you my business, okay? So anyways, this is the Black Diamond Misfit, and please like, subscribe, share if you can. Thank you. Peace out.